everybody, Joe from Britical Saiyans here, and today I'm going to be showing you an updated Android 21 because we got some juicy support in the anniversary box, and since the last time I did this they banned the 8-drop 21, which was kind of main beta for this deck. So
the Violent Predator, isn't it?
Yeah, Violent Predator got banned because they're like, oh, we want people to play mono, so this stops mono. And it's like, yes, because you wanted people to play multicolour, so it stopped mono. And now you want people to play mono, so you've had to stop that. So yeah, smart plays, Bandai. Anyway, so going into the lead card to start with. Auto is when you place this card in the leader area, you choose up to one 21 scheme from your deck, which is this field here, and play it. So, kind of like Metacooler and some other older leaders, you just get a field at the start of the game. And then her active main is once per turn, you choose a clone token in your opponent's battle area and move it from the game. You draw a card, then choose from one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 1, return it to your hand, which I kind of forgot about, but at the same time I didn't want to bounce any of Matt's cards. And then, so after you do that, you then at the start of your opponent's next main phase, you choose up to a blue-green multicolour in your energy and switch it to active mode. So you always have one energy during your opponent's turn, which is nice. And obviously you draw a card because she's just got active main, so you can't draw by any other means. And to awaken is to draw 2 when you're on 4 or less. So on this side it's literally just the same. The active main stays exactly the same. You get rid of the clone token, you draw a card, you can bounce a 1-drop, and then you can get an energy back at the start of your opponent's turn. So exactly the same on both sides. The only difference is these go because she's awakened. So yeah, nothing hugely exciting, but it is a really good leader for the deck.
This is 2, isn't there?
Yeah, there's that one and the starter deck one, which is good for like kind of general use, but the difference is that you'd have to pay the hard 4 to play 21 scheme, and that leader also kind of relies on you having clone tokens in your opponent's field, so it takes you longer to get the tokens with that one, which is why I went with this leader. So to begin with, we got the extra cards. We got a single copy of Absolute Release Ball. So it's counterplay if the leader's blue and your life's at 4 or less. If the battle card being played has an energy cost of 3 or less, it's returned to your hand instead, and then you can get a blue energy back to active mode. And its permanent is if you have a multicolored card in your energy, you can activate its counter skill by taking a life when you're on 4. So benefit is you can get like a free play extra card as long as you take a life. And of course it relies on you having a multicolour energy, which the entire deck is based around. And yeah, you just get to bounce something, so just really good as a one-off, because you also can't need, like, I've got other counterplay in here, which is a battle card, so that's why I was like, well, one release ball will be fine, because if I see it, I play it, and there we go. Next we've got 2 copies of Dimension Magic. So if the leader's blue, you negate the attack, and then you get 2 blue energy back to active mode. And its Sparking 5 lets you activate it by taking a life instead. This has just been in every blue deck since set 5 because it is just really good. Like if you're playing blue and you want to negate Dimension Magic, without any question, that has to be in it. So there you go. Next we have a single copy of one of our new cards called Restoration. So it also is a negate. So you negate the attack, then if your leader card is a blue 21, which it is, and you have a blue-green multicolored card in your energy, which you will do because, like I said, that's the entire point of the deck, You can choose up to one Android 16 with an energy cost of 2 less in your hand and play it. So you negate the attack and then you get to play a card for free, which is this guy, because it's the only 16 I run. But yeah, the main thing is being able to do restoration to negate the attack. You play a 16 and the 16 ramps you an energy during your opponent's turn. So it doesn't come in active that energy, but it's still ramping during your opponent's turn, which is nice. Next we have 3 copies of the classic Sensu Bean. So Lord and Saviour since set 1 for any blue usage. So active battle, choose which one of your cards gains 5k power for the turn, then you choose up to 2 of your engines, switch them to active mode. Now I've said it's Sensu Bean, it's kind of obvious why it's here. And we have another negate, which is a one-off copy of Speedy Surprise Attack. So you negate your attack, and then if your leader is an Android card, you can discard, place a card from your hand to drop. If you do so, you choose from one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 3 or less and KO it. So just a one-off in case I've got an untapped green that's purely green and I don't have any other negates. I can just be like, well, discard, kill something, and because I'm an Android I can activate it, no problem. Next I have a single copy of Infinite Energy. So I think this was a dash pack for set 8. Yeah, set 8 is when this deck came out. I got
Is it a tournament? Probably a tournament.
No, I think that was dash, because tournament packs were like the more technical cards. Because I remember I got this on the day, so I think it was a dash pack, but it might have been tournament to be fair, I don't know. I just have it. So, cost free, one being blue, one being green. It's energy exhaust because it's multicolour. And its active main is you draw a card, you choose one of your multicolour battle cards and place it in your energy and rest mode. You can't play battle cards with power between 30 and 35 power for the duration of the game. And at the start of your opponent's next main phase, you choose up to one of your multicolour energy and switch it to active mode. So, good thing about this is you can draw a card, ramp something from your field, and then you get said energy back. So you can just pick the card that you put in there to get back, and then during your start of your opponent's turn, if you've done this as well, you can get 2 energy instead of 1. But I do have it as a one-off because it's like I don't see myself using it more than once, and I only own 1, but it does work. If you want to run more, that's down to your personal preference. So, and finally we have the singular copy of Android's 21 scheme, which we have, like I did flash before, because it's what our leader plays for free. So it's a field, it has auto of once per turn. When you or your opponent play a non-token battle card, it can't attack for the duration of the turn. So the first card you play has the term Summoning Sickness, which mainly comes from magic, in that the card can't do anything, like can't make an attack during the turn it's played. So, for example, if I played this 21 and that was my first battle card, it couldn't attack, but then this 16 could. So, which is also where Arrival comes in handy, because you could just Arrival card in for, say, like 1 or 2 energy, get that auto out the way, and then place whatever you want afterwards. Its second auto is when you play a black battle card, it's placed in its own drop area. So just don't run any black battle cards in this deck. Simple as. And its final auto is at the start of your opponent's main phase, play 2 clone tokens with 10k power in your opponent's battle area. So that's how we generate these little guys, which I've made as dittos, which you then use to activate other card skills by popping them and doing said skill. So I only have this as a one-off because you should only really need 1 in the game and like if you had more on the deck, I don't really see you using them. So, plus we do have a way of getting it back, which is the main thing. And it's our first battle card. So we have 2 copies of the 1-drop. I misplaced a card somewhere. Haven't I? Yes, I have. There it is. So yeah, we have 2 copies of the 1-drop. Android 21, the Ringleader. So it's 1-drop 4K power. Its auto is, if your lead card is an Android card, when you play this card, you draw 1, and at the end of your opponent's turn, you play 1 clone token with 10k power in your opponent's battle area. So, at the end of your opponent's turn, they get another token alongside the 2 you would have given them at the start of the turn. So they have 3 instead, unless you pop them. So, yeah, it just gives you an extra token to use for your skills. And then its active main is once per turn, you pay a blue and a green. If your leader is an Android card, you choose 1 Android 21 scheme in your drop area and activate it. So, if for whatever reason your opponent pops this card can bring it back out for you, which is why I run the 2 copies, because not only am I likely to see it, but if I should need its active main skill, I have it available to me. But the only card that I know, well, the only card that I think is out at the moment that can pop fields is a 2-drop Vegeta, which no one really uses. So, at least it's not a common problem. Yep. So next in the 1-drops we have 3 copies of Android 18 Speedy Substitute. Yeah, I miscounted. So yeah, she's 1-drop 4k power. Her first auto is when you play this card, look up to 5 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 blue or green Android card among them, add to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So, nice bit of search power. And then its secondary auto is when you play this card, activate this skill. At the end of the turn, you may choose 1 blue-green multicolored card in your energy and return it to your hand. If you do, you choose 1 card in your hand and place it in your energy in rest mode. So, nice thing about this is it lets you bounce a card in and out your energy. So, say you've got one of these in rest mode in your energy and you just have, like, I don't know, that in your hand. You could go, well, I'll bounce the 17 to my hand so I can charge it next turn and just throw this in there for now. So it means during the next turn you could just charge this guy again and gain the full effects from having him in your energy area. So it just lets you swap cards out, which is why I ran it. It was mostly for Violent Predator, but it's still quite useful as an auto because you could just put something there for later on. Next, going to the 2-drops, and I may have mentioned this at the start of the video, but I'll say it again. I have got a couple of proxies in here just because I didn't have the cards when I first made this deck and I waited for them to turn up now. But we were also kind of pressed for matchup, so it's like, well, I'll just throw this in then. So yeah, we have 3 copies of Android 16 energy amplification. There's my brilliant proxy, which is just a piece of paper with his name on it. So it's a 2-drop 5k power, has energy exhaust, and its auto is if you have a blue-green multicolored card in your energy, when you play this card from your hand, place the top card of your deck in your energy and rest mode, and you can't play battle cards with power between 30 and 35k for the duration of the game. So, same restriction as this guy, but the lovely thing about him, which is why I bumped him up to 3 from my original 2, is that you can activate and play him using restoration. So you can negate your opponent's attack, then pick the 16, play it in your battle area, and then gain his full effect because you have placed it from your hand, and this does say you play one from hand. which is why he's a 3 of in the deck, because he's become more useful and a lot easier to play. So, hence I need to get my hands on the third copy. Next, we have our super combos for the deck. So we have 2 copies of Android 18 Bionic Blitz and 2 copies of Maleficent Technique Ginyu. Ginyu isn't that special, he's just a 4 less life for blue. It's just the one that came in the set, so there we go, that's why I picked Ginyu. No specific reason, just there we go. And then we have 18 Bionic Blitz. So it has energy exhaust because it is a multicolored one. And if your leader is blue or green, when you combo with this card from your hand, your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and places it at the bottom of their deck. So the lovely thing about it is that it can bounce one of your opponent's cards back, and it gives you the multicolored you need to do a rival, which is why we have the 2 in here, because it can trigger a rival and just put something to the bottom of your opponent's deck. So if you can't search it out, then yippee. If they are playing something that can just search or play cards from the bottom of the deck, you kind of help them, but oh well. It is mostly just there for the arrival's sake. Next we have 4 copies of our Charge Father Android 17 Protector of Wildlife. So we've got 15k energy exhaust. If you have a blue-green multicolored card in your energy, you negate this card's energy exhaust in all areas. So as long as you have another blue-green card like this in your energy, when you charge this guy for turn, he's inactive instead of in rest, because energy exhaust makes you place it in rest mode. And then his auto is once per turn, when your opponent combos, you choose up to 1 of those cards, place it at the bottom of the owner's deck, then negate the skill for the duration of the game. You can activate multiple, it's not just like if you have 1 out, or if you have 2 out, you can only activate 1 of them and they're both negated. You can just go, well, I'll use this one, and then I'll use this one. But like I said, he's mostly just there for charge fodder, because his permanent is beautiful. Next we have a single copy of Heavy Kick Krillin. So it's 5k, and its auto is if your leader is blue and there's a multicolored card in your energy, when you come with this card it gains plus 5k combo power for the turn. It is just there as a free 10k. Nothing more, nothing less. It's just, I saw it and I was like, oh, free 10k, and put it in the deck. So, and next we have 1 copy of Sungoku in Close Quarters. So he's got 15k power, and he has the auto of when you play or combo with this card, if there is a multicolored card in your energy, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with barrier and an energy cost of 3 or less, ignore barrier and KO it. So you can just KO something with barrier, hence the fact it's a 2 cost combo even though you gain 5k. It's the fact that you can just combo it and potentially kill its attacking if it has barrier, or just something else with barrier. And you can also do that on place, so you can get 2 uses out of him. Although, don't really see him that often. And yeah, paying 2 for the combo is hefty. And finally in our 2 drops, we have 2 copies of Supreme Technique Sungohan. So, he has 10k power, and then his active main is once per turn. You can choose a clone token in your opponent's battle area and move from the game, and he gains 10k and crit for the turn. So it's just there as a nice beat stick, and because he gains crit, that's a bonus. Plus he gets rid of your opponent's tokens, which you need to do, otherwise they will just beat you down with your own tokens. So next we have our 3 drops. We have 2 copies of Android 21 A Brilliant Idea. So it's got 15k. The auto, when you play this card, activate the skill. At the end of your opponent's next turn, you place 2 clone tokens in your opponent's battle area. So it just gives you more tokens to use. And then its active main is once per turn. You can choose 1 clone token in your opponent's battle area, remove from the game, and then gain one of the following effects. So you can either choose one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it, or you can choose one of your leader or one of your battle cards and it gains 10k in crit for the duration of the turn. So you can apply some crit pressure, or you can just pop something. Either way, it's pretty nice. Hence we run the 2, just because if you can see it, play it out and use its skills to make the game go a lot smoother. And we have 2 copies of Vegeta the Cruel. I'll make sure that's in shot. So 15k again. It's got counterplay of Play 'em Out. Its opponent is, if you have a multicolored card in your energy, reduce the cost of this card in your hand by 1. So it can become a 2-cost counterplay. And its auto is, when you play this card during your opponent's turn, choose which one of your opponent's battle cards, when energy cost 4 or less, KO it. Then your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and sends it to their warp. So, bit of board disruption and hand disruption, which is nice. And then you just have a 15k beat stick, which you can activate at any point during your opponent's turn. It just says counter play. So if they do something, you can just play, well, counter Vegeta the Cruel. That literally mean anything. It's the open end of counterplay is your opponent does something. Window. So going on to the 4-drops now.
Apart from everything in a game.
Yeah.
You can't respond to that one.
Yeah, you can't respond to negates unless it's a counter, but pretty much other than that, counterplay is just your opponent does something. Hello. So yeah, going into our 4-drops, we have 2 copies of Android 18 Full of Rage. So it's got 20k power, survival for blue-green by playing a blue, has energy exhaust. Its auto is, when you play this card, you can't play a second copy for the turn. And its active battle is, you return this card to its owner's hand, choose which one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost 4 or less, and return it to their owner's hand. So, another thing about this is that you can arrival it in, then if it's your turn you could swing with it, and then say you attack with another card, you could just bounce this back, bounce with your opponent's cards, and then have it ready for the next time you want to play it out. So, hence the fact I run the 2, just because if I see it, it's a nice little thing to play out and just work with. So, next we've got 2 copies of Maleficent Technique Frieza. So its active main is you can choose 2 clone tokens of your opponent's battle and move from the game to play this card from your hand. And its auto is, when you play this card, you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 3 or less and return it to your hand. So that is just a 15k beat stick afterwards. But the lovely thing about him is that you can get rid of 2 tokens and have him play for free. Hence the fact I run him, just because out of those, I think there was him and Cell, and Cell wasn't as impressive to me, so I was like, well...
Let's Gohan and Vegeta.
Yeah, Gohan... I know about I showed Gohan.
Ah.
Like, there's... So yeah, you got Gohan and Vegeta, which you play out, but then you can get rid of 1 token. And I think there's a Frieza... Well, there's Frieza, and then I think it's a Cell that you remove tokens to play them out, and then they have an auto effect when they're played. But I just prefer the Frieza because I can bounce something, I can get rid of 2 tokens, and then 15k beat stick. So, which is nice. Next we have 2 copies of Super 17 Seconds to Detonation. So this is a promo card. Can't remember under what context it was a promo. So yeah, 20k energy exhaust. Revive for blue-green. So if you chuck a green and blue, or blue-green card, when he's KO'd / removed from your battle area, you can play him out again. And his auto is, once per turn, when your opponent's battle card is KO'd, you draw a card, then your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and place it in their drop area. So if you kill something with your opponents, you then get to play his skill to draw a card and make them discard a card, which is pretty lovely. Because although there isn't as much battle card destruction in this deck, it's still pretty good in case you just pile into something. And because he's got revive, it means you could just bring him back and get rid of his own like summoning sickness on this thing. And we have 2 copies of Supreme Technique Sungoku. So he's a 20k blocker. He has a rival blue-green by paying a blue. Obviously the energy exhaust. And then his auto is choose 2 clone tokens your opponent's battle area and remove from the game. When you play this card, your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and places it in their drop area. So you can rival, make your opponent ditch a card, and get rid of 2 tokens. A nice little combo I tried to do in this deck, which I think works out quite well as long as you're not playing something like, well, as long as you're not up against something like Kid Goku, because it doesn't matter to them, they just chuck their 4-star ball, is you combo with this to make your opponent put a card from their hand to the bottom of the deck, and then you rival this in to make them discard a card. So between those 2 cards, you just get rid of 2 cards from your opponent's hand during their turn as well, if you really want to just add like salt to the wound. So you can just be like, well, no matter what you swing first, this combo's going off. Enjoy. Which is what I try to do most of the time, if I can help it. Next we got our 5 drops. So we have 3 copies of Android 21 A Bad Omen. Yes, it's another proxy. Again, it's another card I'm waiting on. So she has 25k power, the energy exhaust, active main of you pay 2 blue and 2 green to place from your energy. And its auto is choose 1 card from your energy and place it in your drop area. When you play this card, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, up to 1 of your opponent's life, and place them in their own drop areas. So you can play her out for your energy and then burn 1 of the energy you used to play her to make your opponent lose a battle card and lose a card from their life, which is the more useful side for her, which is just an immediate shot on their life. So that's why I've bumped her up from 2 to 3, because we want to see her, we want to do that, I want it to be more consistent. And thanks to our new card, there's an easier way of doing this as well, which is our next card. We have 4 copies of Super 17 Hell's Ultimate Weapon. So this was the other card they added to the anniversary set. He has 25k power. Obviously he has energy exhaust. He has a permanent of, if you lead it as a blue 21 card, so again, we are. Negate this card's energy exhaust skill in all areas. So just like our not Super 17, our Wildlife Protector 17, he is charge fodder. But unlike Super 17, he is charge fodder with a reason to be charge fodder, in that he has the active main of you pay 2 blue, 2 green and 3 other energy. You play this card from your energy, and then you play up to 3 Android cards with an energy cost of 5 less from your energy. So this guy comes out first, can get rid of summoning sickness for you, and then you play 3 cards. So for example, you'd play say 2 or 3 of this card, and then her auto could activate, so you can burn 1 of your energy and then do the damage, and it saves you from, like, gets more utility, because instead of you paying 4 to get 1 of these out, you could pay 7 to play 2 or 3 or whatever else you want from your energy area, maybe just another copy of him. So but yeah, this is a beautiful addition thanks to the anniversary box, and makes a nice replacement for our Violent Predator. And because we pulled it, and as we have to in Double Britical Saiyans when we pull Secret, I have the one-off Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, Peak of Primitive Power. So he's an ultimate 40k power. He has a rival blue-green by paying 3 blue and 2 green. I don't know why I stopped there. I thought I went wrong. I was like, no, you're doing it right. Yeah. He has energy exhaust, and the auto of when you play this card, you choose one of the effects. So, if it's your turn when you play him, he gains double strike, critical, and triple attack for the turn. So he attacks 3 times for double critical. If it's your opponent's turn, however, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards ignoring barrier and place it in the energy drop area, and then you add up to 2 cards from the top of your deck to your energy. So, not the effects we aim for the double critical attack, because that can kill our opponent quite easily. Plus, out of the 2, it is so much better. But, hey ho. So yeah, we have the one off of him, and we can play it because even though this says 30k and 35k, he is 40k. So, they did think about that when they made this secret, which is lovely. Hence the fact I run it. To be honest with you, if I didn't run it, I'd probably just put another bad Omen in. Simple as.
So for those who don't have the secret rare.
Yeah. I didn't buy this. I pulled it when we did the sneak peek. I made everyone jealous. And yeah, I had to base my deck around it. And then when one came up against me, it's like, are you the guy that pulled the secret? No. Yeah, you are, aren't you? Oh, I know what you're going to do. It's like, okay. I did it once, and the person was like, I'm okay to die to this. And it's like, thank you. I've not been able to do this all day. So, there we go, guys. That is my updated 21 deck profile. As always, leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments below, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.